Yes, we welcome you to another beautiful episode of Between the Lines, your ultimate Afrobeat podcast. It's a special edition today. If you look around, we're not in the studio, so we are outside.
We're outside.
Yes, we are outside, live in Lagos, Nigeria. We're here to celebrate African essence. We're here to celebrate fashion, music, culture, everything put together. And this is brought to you by EcoBank.
Yeah, Echo Bank. So they call this one the Adire Festival.
Yes.
And it's the first of its kind, right?
Yes, amazing.
First or second episode, I'm not too sure. But this is a very, very, very good initiative, a way
Yeah.
to drive the culture and everything. So we're happy to be here, man. Loving it.
Adedoye, how are you feeling the environment so far?
Oh my god. I've been seeing beautiful things, like really beautiful things. And I'm just like, I need to close my eye because I went to my pockets and it's free.
At the end of the day, we have a lot of vendors here, and I love how we are beginning to get so creative with our local adire print.
yeah.
It's just so beautiful. You need to see the designs around. We're still definitely going to show you more later on this episode. But hey, let's get started. My name is Smack Peters, aka Smack of All Season.
And this is YDN of the Most High, here.
Was I?
And of course, baby girl of food.
Yes.
I've been doing life here for you.
All right, so we're live here today. So we'll be discussing the influence of African fashion on the growth of African music generally. All right, so let's take it back a bit. Back in the days, it's very hard for you to, separate the music from the fashion. When you talk about the early guys, the fella, the King Sunny Ade, they are all. Talking about King Sunny Ade. He has a cap that he wears then that has a tail like this that comes to his back.
Yeah.
They were very intentional about their fashion and how and the culture. You think we still have that today?
Well, I don't think it is. It is more. I don't think we have that. So then it was all encompassing. It was encompassing, from the sound to the traditional outfits and everything that they do. But now it's a bit of here and there. So you might have the sound, but you won't have any other thing there, or you might have the dress and and you won't have the sound. So it's here and there. It's not all encompassing like that. So
I agree with you. We don't have fashion anymore in the music. But I'm going to play the advocate.
Okay.
Because I feel like times have changed. Everyone is growing with it. However, does it mean we should not have the culture, the fashion in it? No. Can we make it to be in it? Yes. So that's what I'm saying.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. I think the older generation were really intentional about this, and someone like Fela, for instance, you can't really separate his music from his fashion. Everything put together is always the same, and that's why it's very important that we put out this episode just to encourage younger artists coming into the game. We need more of this. So talking about some artists in the newer generation, what are some of those iconic moments we've seen where an African artist showed up in a traditional outfit and is looking like, yo, I'm so proud to be African.
all right. So we have Tems at the MET. Shout out to all the African designers at the METs.
Yes.
They had Afrobeat stars looking bang in African designs and all of that. So shout out to them. We had Tems, had also Yemi Alade at the Grammys. Beautiful to see. Beautiful to see. We also have artists like Odumodublvck with his cap.
Everywhere goes.
Yeah,
Everywhere
everywhere
goes,
he goes. Fimi the rapper, she's upcoming with her
Yes.
gele.
Yeah.
She shows it all the time that she's from this state and that's what she wants to do. Also have artist YKB. YKB that wears, so he has this Ankara print. He calls it, I think it's his brand, Bonfo. So it's an Ankara brand. So shout out to artist YKB also. All these artists are really doing amazing. Also Yemi Alade.
Yes, Yemi Alade. Yes.
I think he has named the most of them that do it. when you want to count the numbers, the percentage is like, I'll say 8 to 2. So I think we're just going to encourage every other person to like be more conscious about putting African fashion, using it in your style, in music, and everything.
Yeah, I think another moment for me is Sean Kuti at the Coachella.
Yeah,
He had this urban. It was urban, but it was giving a lot of African in it, and
it was a lot of aura at the Coachella. Actually.
Yes. I agree. And we need more of that, and we're encouraging, everybody to always just carry the culture with you everywhere you go. All right, we need to look at how the fashion has evolved over the years. I remember back in the days, we were kind of like stereotyped to some pattern of design. Even the way they sew agbada back in the days is not the way they sew agbada now.
The way they sew agbada here and now.
So from the area of creativity with our local fabrics, let's talk about the evolution and where we are right now.
Well, then expression was limited. So it has to be, it was subject to approval from certain people, from certain, but right now expression is more open. You do not need anybody's approval really to be expressive. Just express yourself and put your art out there. Be creative as much as you want to. So right now people have explored African styles, African prints, everything, and they have tried to combine it with Western style fashion and just do amazing things with it, and it's been beautiful to see. So shout out to all the African fashion designers out there, because they are really killing it, really.
I agree.
So it gets to a point where you cannot block creativity, and now we've gotten to that point where technology and everything is making it much more easy for people to be able to express what they are thinking. I feel like back then these people could, they had their job, but like when it came to like fully expressing the understanding, putting out the picture, the means was like limited. But now like so many things is giving them the power, the means to be able to express what they have in their head and bring the picture to life.
Yes, I agree, because if you look around here, from what I've seen so far, you could tell where we are right now. Creative wise, we are taking it to the next level.
Yeah, I love brands actually.
Yes, I think it's actually a very cool time to rock the African style. And as an artist, as a creative, I don't see a reason why you should not, be on this moving train at this point in time. Let's talk about some artists who over the time they've given us an iconic fashion style into their branding, and that has actually become so part of them that some artists, you don't have to see them physically. It might just be a fashion material that you see that it sticks that this is this guy.
I'll start with Ayra Starr.
Really?
Yeah, sure. I mean, people actually name.
But from the African point of view, though, we're celebrating African fabrics today. Africanness.
I'll say Odumodublvck with the cap.
I agree. Odumodublvck with the cap. The cap from the east has become so iconic that even the elders are the one rocking it. But now, when you see it, Odumodu is what comes to your head.
It wasn't something that was cool to wear. That was, but Odumodublvck brought it back, and everyone wants to just identify with their culture, see what other cool stuff is happening in their culture. So
amazing. Yes.
Like in one way or the other, she calls herself Mama Africa.
Yes.
One way or the other, she's like always putting it out there.
Yeah, I feel like if I were at an award show and I saw the back view of anybody, wearing an Ankara dress or a gown, I would just guess. My first guess would be, that should be Yemi Alade, because she just does it all the time. All the time.
And also Lagbaja as well.
Yeah.
Lagbaja, he has been consistent over the years with the mask, with the outfits. He has been given so much vibe over the years, and it's still there. See the video with Fireboy, the recent one. the vibe is still there, back and forth.
Yeah, lovely video. I enjoyed that video.
You could actually tell. You could actually tell. It was quite amazing. And shout out to the likes of the band as well, and some other great artists who have actually been intentional about their fashion style as regards their music as well. Okay, so right now we're focusing more on the artists, but then there are other people behind the scenes who are also key players in ensuring that this culture travels beyond the shores of our continent, beyond music. So let's look at music video directors. Do we think they've done enough over the years? And notable mentions of some of them who have actually put in conscious effort in pushing the African culture through music videos.
Well, looking at behind the scenes, people outside the artists, you take Fela for example, and the world is now open. It's now we have access to a lot of information these days and talent, and so you wonder if way back then Fela had branding managers or had someone in charge of his branding, someone in charge of distributing his music.
I don't think he would have had. That was too stubborn.
Do you get? So you wonder if he had all these people for him to have such a movement as an artist. So this goes to show, to tell you how intentional of an artist Fela is, and how much he knew what he wanted and how he went for it. So I don't know if it is something that we do not put, artists of nowadays do not put into consideration, exporting the culture, not just the music. But I feel it is something that should be put into consideration. So from your branding to your storytelling with your music videos, all of these things. I'm talking about music videos. Shout out to Clarence Peter for Back and Forth video, because it was a beautiful fusion of Western society love experience and the African, the African experience also.
Yes.
So it was a beautiful mixture of both worlds, and it was beautiful to see. And I always say that in as much as we want to transport the music, Afrobeat to the world and all of that thing, we cannot lose ourselves. We cannot allow the Western world write our own narrative for us. It has to be Afrobeats culture, and we have to define that culture.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that.
Talking about people behind the scene who are actively trying to, we don't see a lot of them, to be honest. But I think for stylists these days, they are really trying, because it's like that is what is in the wave right now. African culture, adire. You go to bridal showers, and now you see people with bridal robes. You randomly go into an office. There was a time in Nigeria that you cannot wear native to
the office, to a corporate setting.
Corporate settings, you have a day in the week where you have to wear.
Yes.
And when you look at the music culture and cultural sciences, they intertwine.
Yes.
Music culture influence the everyday life, and the everyday life as well
Influence the music.
So I think it's all about being deliberate, this stylists, the music directors, being deliberate and saying, okay, we want to it takes a conscious effort.
Yeah, it does.
You've been talking about how the Western culture influences us, and that's something about culture. Culture translates; it goes into each other. Culture will always, culture is interwoven. It will always, enter each other. But one thing we should not let happen is be lost in it. While you're trying to understand other people's culture, you vibe it, because the thing is, you're not doing it purposely. It's unconsciously that this thing comes into you, but at the same time, you have to take a conscious effort not to miss out.
So that's why this discussion is really important, because at the end of the day, you look at people like Fela, his style of music, Afrobeat music. It has sustained. It has a culture about it, and that culture has been sustained. If you look at every band doing Afrobeat music now, ARB, Fela, Femi Kuti, Made Kuti, and every other, they have, the culture has been sustained over time. So that means there's a culture about it, and it's a very conscious effort. So it is very intentional. So what is that intentional thing about Afrobeats that we say, aside streaming numbers, aside making the money, all of these things, aside putting Nigerian music on the map out there. That cannot just be it.
Yes.
That cannot just be it, because it has to have a culture about it. So when
Yes.
we talk about the Afrobeats culture, what is that Afrobeats culture about it? So it has to be, there should be an intentionality about it, really. So
Yes, quite amazing. And still talking about some people behind the scenes. DJ Spino at some point.
Yeah, the cap.
Yeah, the cap. You know, the cap was there, and I think Sose has a hood to
Yeah.
DJ Sose.
Yeah,
So I think
Sose.
I think some people behind the scenes, they are consciously just pushing the culture, and it's quite amazing. So we don't just want to put the pressure on the artists alone, but the DJs, the producers,
producers,
music directors, managers, everybody. Let's push the culture generally and use the music as a tool to reach out to the world. And trust me, we are unstoppable. Let's talk about the future of the role fashion is playing. African fashion now is playing in the growth of Afrobeat music globally. What's the future looking like?
Bright, clear, like you can see it in 5D.
Yeah, really.
It's going to get better. Like we said, there's a wave right now, and I see this wave becoming bigger. So the future is really bright.
Yeah,
That's what
actually.
So for me, yeah, we need, in as much as we need more of these artists to imbibe the culture in their music, we want to see things like, we want some things to come back, where you have music videos, telling the story all through. Those things have been lost over time. When you move back to Jumbo video by
Case Daniel, yes.
You look at some Mongo Park by Obi, all of these tells the story. So it's not just clips. We want to feel while you move, while you transport the music, while you export the music, we also want to feel like this music is coming from us.
Yes.
That's why it is easy for an artist to say now that, oh, my people sold me.
Yeah.
Because right now sometimes we feel lost. You're doing a music, you're selling a lifestyle to us that is
Not yours.
that we do not connect with.
Yeah.
So that's why most people want to do things that are way above their means just to keep up with lifestyle. Like you said earlier, way back it was not cool to wear Ankara to weddings. So
yeah.
but now it is cool. Why? Because we have people that we look up to, people of influence doing
Yes,
these things. So we
yes.
want artists to make better use of the influence, So culture and everything give us a lifestyle that we are in tune with. Don't beat a drum that we cannot dance to.
Yes,
So
I agree.
So far, I can say that the future is bright.
Yes.
The future is bright, but there's so much more that we can do.
All right. Yes, I agree. And right now we're about to check how bright the future is, because the vendors here, they have crazy designs. So we're about to take you into the future, you see, and get to talk to a lot of people, customers, vendors, ask them a few questions, and just to give you a glimpse of what is going on around. So,
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Oluwatosin, corporate MC.
Good afternoon. My name is Babatunde Musa. I'm an IT professional.
Okay, hello guys, my name is Amira and I sell adire fabrics.
Hello guys, my name is Donatus Faithfulness. I am a founder and I run clothing.
Okay, so I'm Toluwaniope Saliu and I'm a singer and also an actress.
So far, so good. It's awesome. I barely got here like less than an hour ago. The cultural presentations have been awesome. The vendors their quality products are affordable prices. And that's awesome. So far, so good, yeah.
First and foremost, I want to say a big thank you to EcoBank for putting this together. It's a promotion of the African culture. And I think this is going to go a very long way if we continue this way. Definitely. However, there's room for improvement. And whatever you do, there's always room for improvement. Yes, Afrobeat is doing their best. Also, there is a need for the African fashion world to also take the center stage. And I think this is a step in the right direction.
Oh yes, 100%, 100%, like 100%. I do. I like to believe that fashion is something we used to represent our character. what we embody generally. Like for instance, if you take someone who is confident, you can tell by virtue of what the person is wearing. So I can say fashion is like a language at which you express yourself without being verbal.
Cap. I like native caps a lot. I'm beginning to wear them on almost everything now. So when I'm wearing suits, whatever I'm wearing, I like to always have a native cap on because it represents royalty, it represents respect. So I don't care the rules of the fashion, what anybody says. Most of the times, as much as I'm allowed to, I like to always have a piece of African outfit, which is my face cap, my African filler on me.
I know number one person that comes to mind. I'd say Wizkid, of course. And second person, stylish, Afro-wise. Okay, Adekunle Gold has always been representing the African vibe. Of course, and his wife, of course, Simi. What else?
To be honest, no, but like, if there's anybody that, if I want to mention someone, I'll mention Fowles, the bad guy. I love that guy.
Stylish. I really like Ashake's style. I don't know why. True. I don't really know any artist that wears adire, to be honest. They should start doing that. I'll also start selling for artists. Don't worry, I'll bring it out.
For me, it's going to be Yemi Alade. Because, the fashion and the songs she sings, everything portrays culture. And I think, for me, I like her that way.
Adire, I will do it anyhow, don't worry. Adire.
Would you rock adire or Ankara to a concert or a date?
Now it depends, but I feel if I have, there are two options. If I have adire and Ankara, I'll wear adire. But if I have only Ankara, I'll wear Ankara.
We had a great time, having great conversations with a lot of beautiful people. I did doing that was lit.
I enjoyed it so much. I wish I had the money. I would have just been like, can you give me this entire selection?
I know
You guys, she has money.
I know she wanted to buy a lot.
I should show you what she just shopped right now.
Our shopping bag is somewhere there. Or maybe we'll see more of that in the next episode of Between the Lines.
Yeah, we'll try.
By the way, I love your prints.
Thank you, I love you.
Yeah. Right hand.
This is what we are saying.
And you've talked so much about how we should.
This is what we are saying. These artists have sold me a lifestyle.
Hey,
that I'm going to grab one.
Jeez.
All right, I'm going to grab one adire.
Okay.
I'm going to even change here right now.
Okay, so maybe we get to see YDN rocking the adire prints.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for being part of this episode. We'll definitely catch you again on the next episode. Have a wonderful time. Peace.